All right, we're live here, guys. Sandy Ceramic, got my man Marvelous Ron Marvo to my right, and thanks for joining us here live on Facebook and YouTube. And we're here to share a little bit of time because we want to talk about the next big thing. You know, it's the one question that I keep getting asked. I know you're getting asked as well as we travel around the country. What's the next big thing in automotive? And we've got some answers to that question, don't we?
Oh yeah, absolutely, Sandy. I mean, there's some really strategic solutions that people can add to their businesses right now more than ever. As things are changing in our current environment.
Yeah, well, no question. And I think the next big thing that we've got to talk about is something we call the COVID-19 bubble. Nobody's really spoken about this. We're the first ones here, quite honestly, that are giving it the kind of attention that I believe it deserves. Every business out there is going to feel the impact of that bubble when it bursts. You know, we talked about over the course of the last few weeks what happened, in 1929, what happened in 2008, what's happening right now. You know, we have a COVID bubble right now. And when it bursts, you've got to be prepared to defend the profitability of your business. And we've come up with a bunch of different solutions, very specific strategic solutions, and they do a couple of different things. They're either going to increase revenue in your operation, they're going to reduce expenses, or they're going to provide enhancements to the already incredible experiences that we're providing for customers in their businesses right now. So let's talk about the first one. You and I took a trip down to Dallas. We had a chance to speak with our good friend Amberly Joseph, Dealer Merchant Services. She's got an incredible program out there. It's called two-tiered merchant process pricing. And I'll tell you right now, it's one of the things that I think is revolutionizing how dealerships are processing transactions at the dealership level. As a matter of fact, we talked with her about a really incredible story that they had of a dealer with, I believe, out of Seattle, and over $1 million in savings over the course of 3 years. And so as we take a look at some of the comments, hey, what's up, Paul Meyer, checking in. It's been a while. I hope you're doing well, buddy. And so, yeah, we got folks out there that are focused on how do we reduce expenses. This is something that delivers immediate results. It delivers residual results. That was something that we were looking for.
And also, Sandy, it gives people the option. It's the dual pricing platform that she discussed.
No question about it.
So the consumer actually has a better opportunity to choose on how they would like to pay.
Yeah, well, again, we give people options. We improve the experience that they have in our dealerships. But the most important thing is it actually having an impact on the bottom line of the store. Because, when you go back to 29, or we go back to even 87, talk about Black Monday, 87, we talk about 2008, when we saw bubbles burst, economic bubbles burst. It's what people did to reduce their footprint in terms of expenses that made all the difference in the world, because revenues were a little bit harder to come by. And so when we take a look at the things that are going to impact your business, expense reduction is at the tippy top of the list.
And I think what makes this bubble different right now, Sandy, is the fact that dealers have been making, specifically dealerships, have been making record high profits through the last 15 months. And when this bubble does burst, because it's just a matter of time, I believe, and we've spoken about this multiple times, what are the things that they're going to be able to do to protect their profitability moving forward? And even come up with maybe new creative innovations that are going to enhance their dealership and their business.
There's no question about it. As I mentioned, credit card processing or transaction processing for merchants is a huge piece of the puzzle. Another thing we identified is supplemental sales opportunities in your service drives. If you're not taking advantage of programs that provide you with supplemental sales opportunities to take care of clients in your service drive, you're missing out on a huge opportunity. Traditionally, we've talked about fluids and additives. Being a great way to actually drive a higher transactional price with each and every RO that you process. And so what we're looking for, again, is opportunities to reduce some expense footprint, but also increase revenues on a per transaction basis, something that can happen over a residual period of time as well. And we've got a bunch of different partners that we've taken a look at and vetted so that we can take a look at ultimately the quality of the product is critically important in that regard.
Absolutely.
The client service is critical, right? For us, we're not going to partner with anybody out there that we don't have total confidence is going to take care of our clients and our clients' clients ultimately, who are the people that are driving. But that creates another opportunity for dealerships and service drives.
Yeah, absolutely. And adding those different fluids and additives that we've spoke about, it's a strategic way of dealerships knowing that service is driving more than 50% of the current profits in the dealership, just to be able to make, again, higher transactional differences in profit margins.
Yeah, well, no question about it. As my man Paul Meyer just chimed in and said, hey, we've been talking about it for a while as well. I'm glad to hear that others are out there that are aware of what's going on right now economically. We've had this really strong artificial stimulation to the economy, it's impacted automotive dramatically. As a matter of fact, it's impacted us on the transactional pricing side, inventory as well. We've seen, historically low levels of inventory out there in the marketplace, and we don't see that correcting itself until probably Q4 of this year or Q1 of 2022.
Which makes service that much more of a factor.
No question.
In terms of, being able to increase those profit margins and still deliver the client experience
100%.
that's necessary for dealerships to thrive.
100%, yeah. I'm curious, out there in the audience, if you're watching right now, what are the things that you're looking at right now in terms of expense reduction or ancillary profit opportunities where we can go ahead and take care of our client needs and also make sure we have a positive impact on our businesses. And Paul, I love it, baby. Pent up demand equals no inventory plus an influx of cash into the economy creates today's sales success. It's not the dealers for the most part. When the bubble bursts, we'll go back to the floor plan expense choking dealers and not enough people coming through the door. Paul, you are spot on, buddy. It's one of the things that we are hyper focused on right now is making sure that we're prepared when the bubble bursts. We see it probably Q4 of this year, Q1 of next year. But what we do leading up to that point in time is where we see the difference being made.
That's going to be the critical difference for any business, specifically dealerships we're talking about now, that if they don't take action now, that's going to be a concern moving forward, and they'll bottleneck themselves essentially.
No question.
By
No
not
question.
actually taking action.
I saw it happen. I was around in '87. I was certainly around in 2008. I was one of the ones that really was caught flat-footed. A lot of us were when we had that economic meltdown, the financial crisis of 2008. We really took it on the chin. And ultimately, I look back on that, and I've learned a lot of valuable lessons about how you have to prepare, when you have a situation like that. One of the other things we talked about was solar.
Yeah.
In certain states, solar is an incredible play because there are a number of different benefits. First and foremost, you have an opportunity to reduce your energy costs, which is one of the single biggest costs that we have at the dealership level. The other piece is there's an incredible federal investment tax credit play. And when you've had a situation like we've had over the course of the last year plus, during and throughout the lockdown and even into today, where dealerships have tons of cash, they have incredible historical levels of profitability, and they're looking for that tax play that's going to help them shelter some of that profitability. This becomes a really incredible opportunity to do both of those things.
And it's an innovative piece, right? When you're telling a customer or a client, more importantly, we're solar here. We don't use traditional energy service.
Greener footprint, 100%.
People jive with that more than ever nowadays. And that is really going to make a big difference, Andy. At least I believe so.
Well, there's no question. It's a great marketing opportunity for us, right? Because people are focused on making sure that we have a greener footprint that actually uses less energy. Solar accomplishes both of those things. People feel good about doing businesses with businesses that are actually taking. Yeah, and they're taking I would say a leading step towards making sure they're more socially responsible. And so those are great opportunities. As a matter of fact, any of the information that we have, we're happy to share with you. You just need to hit us up. If you check down below, we're looking for any information you want at info@sandycerami.com. It's info@sandycerami.com. We will definitely get back to you and give you all the information that you're looking for. As a matter of fact, my man, Paul Meyer, you are on it. Solar is a huge benefit. New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Florida, California, all great states right now. Even Texas, if I'm not mistaken, great opportunity to take advantage of putting solar on your rooftop. Here's one of the things, and this was brought up to me by one of the partners that we're working with right now, is it actually takes what is normally a liability and turns it into an asset that reduces your expenses at the same time, meaning putting solar, which is, by the way, no penetration whatsoever to your roof. If you got a flat roof, it works perfectly, but it's an opportunity to turn it what is traditionally a liability, something that's going to cost you over time with respect to maintenance and repairs, into an asset.
Yeah, and that investment does give you a real return on your investment, pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about that with one of our strategic partners about how fast
Absolutely.
that can happen, especially if you live in a state that gives you those tax benefits.
There's no question. As a matter of fact, they were talking about the fact it's a 26% investment tax credit. You can use it all in year one, or you can stretch it out over 6 years. So there are a number of different ways that you can actually strategically employ that investment tax credit for tax preparation.
The flexibility of it is truly incredible.
Yeah, you got depreciation as well. You can take depreciation in a one lump sum, or you can stretch it out over a period of time. So there's a lot of different ways where solar is a great play in the marketplace right now. All right, so it's tactical. The other piece that we looked at was something that I believe is the next great retention tool in our business. As interval maintenances continue to stretch out, 5 and 10,000 miles at a clip,
Big time.
Oil changes are no longer the retention tool that we've looked at traditionally in our business in the past. As a matter of fact, it's become a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah, well, we talk about the electrification of vehicles. And,
Yes.
and how that is literally changing everything. And your intervals for servicing batteries, and things like that are way longer than an oil change. And even right now, an oil change, it used to be 3,000 miles for every oil change.
Yeah.
We're at 10,000 miles in oil change, people. And when we go electric, and that is coming,
100%.
it's gonna be a big change. So
Yeah,
specifically to what in service, Andy?
Well, we're talking about tires. We're talking about an opportunity for four-wheel alignments. These are things that people need. We're not overselling anything. As a matter of fact, when you take a look at the state of our nation's highways right now, we're talking about all the infrastructure bills, and we can argue back and forth as to what's infrastructure and what isn't. There's no arguing that roadways and our highway systems are part of infrastructure investment. And until that becomes a reality, we're dealing with streets that are in utter disrepair right now. That has a major impact on the tire wear. It has a major impact on alignments. And that's an opportunity for us to actually make sure that we're doing what the car tells us it needs when it comes into the service drive and take care of our clients the right way. But that, to me, is the next great retention tool. And one of our partners that we're working with right now, my man David Boyle, he's got something that I think is revolutionary. I think it's the opportunity for us ultimately to capitalize on this retention play. And his system, and you want more information, again, info@sandycerami.com. His system is designed to check every single vehicle that comes into the service drive quickly, efficiently, and effectively, and communicate with the customers almost instantaneously.
Yeah, and it eliminates the need for the car to go to the back and actually go through
Exactly.
the actual outside the service drive into the shop. Just to be able to do that and
Yeah.
give a client or consumer a quick answer is huge.
No question. The other piece of it is it actually enhances that client experience, right? Because what we're trying to do is save them the old TIME. It's the number one reason why they want to or don't want to do business with us in the service drive. It's the amount of time it takes for us to complete the repair visit has a lot to do with whether or not they're choosing to do business with us or with somebody else. And so David's team has done a great job. And his technology is leading edge.
And it allows that specific thing that David has allows to set the expectation prior to people coming to your service drive, and then once they're there, you can actually execute on that expectation.
No question.
In a big way.
No question about it. The last one, the fifth thing that we took a look at, we're going to continue to come back on a weekly basis and share with you the things that we found out there and the strategic partnerships that we've actually set up. We're vetting every single strategic partner that we're working with right now because we want to make sure that it's the right type of provider at the end of the day. These are companies that are focused on a real client relationship, not just the one and done. This is for us, primary concern is making sure that the client service level is ideal. But the last one we're talking about is digital, right? And so getting your business right with respect to digital marketing and digital tools that are in the marketplace right now. We've got a couple of different strategic partners, not the least of which is my boys over at J&L in Louisville, Kentucky. My man Scott Joseph, CEO, and Jamil Zabaneh, who is the president, smartest guy I've ever come across with respect to digital marketing. But we've also got another secret weapon that we'll share with you. Hit us up with info@sandycerami.com. We'll be happy to share that with you. But we've got another tool and a strategic partnership that we just put together where we eliminate forms on the website and we eliminate the chat bots on the website and actually have live conversation with client service professionals, whether it's a sales professional or a service professional that can answer a question for a customer live on the spot with a one-way video piece. It's really cool stuff. It's leading edge. They are the first ones to the marketplace with this opportunity to communicate with your clients without having to make them fill out a form or go through the chatbot experience, which I think people are sick and tired of.
Yeah, it's automated and you don't get the same feel from that. This is actually allowing you to just go on the website, click a button on, let's just say, a vehicle you're interested in, and it just notifies the sales team, and then they can actually just see your salesperson live, ask the questions they need to ask, and then decide if they want to make a decision or not on that specific vehicle and that specific dealership, more importantly. Depending on how your salespeople are going to answer those questions for the consumer, especially in a live video, and it allows them to see the salesperson's face, I mean,
It's a game changer.
Yeah,
It
what's
really
that?
is. It's such a different experience for the customer. It's what they're looking for. It's what they want. It's what they demand at this point in time. That higher level of engagement. And so we've got a great opportunity to share that technology with you. It's funny. Paul Meyer has put in a ton of comments, and I appreciate it, buddy. You got some smart comments, and obviously have a great perspective on the business. Interesting how companies are investing billions in electric while 20% of Cadillac dealers are tapping out on electric. That's such a deep conversation, buddy. That's probably for another episode, but I couldn't agree with you more. You need to engage and embrace the coming EV wave, and it's coming. If you want to deny that, I think you're nuts.
Yeah, well, I know that certain manufacturers have actually made a commitment by, I believe, 2025, more than half of their vehicles having an EV variant.
Correct.
Not just having the gas.
Correct. It's coming, and it's going to actually create a dynamic change in how we service automobiles moving forward as an industry. And that's why so many of the things that we're sharing with you here today actually speak to that coming wave with respect to technology. As a matter of fact, one of the strategic providers that we have on solar was talking about the fact that they can build into most of their plans EV charging stations as part of their package. And I think it's a great way to get that done. It's economical, it's efficient, it's certainly a tax advantage for them as well. And so once again, if you want more information on what we're doing and how we're doing it, the top performing dealers that we're working with right now are using a combination of 1, 2, 3, or all 5 of the things that we're talking about here right now to improve their bottom line today, because that economic bubble is about to burst. COVID-19 bubble is real. Anybody that feels otherwise, in my opinion, I'd argue with you all day long. I've been wrong in the past, but never been in doubt.
And one thing, Sandy, too, nothing's worse than being the last person to the information.
Yeah.
So once everybody's talking about this, a lot of times, they talk about in stocks. If you've already heard about it, it's too late.
Yeah, it's true. That is so true,
if
buddy.
you're
There's no
beating
doubt.
people to the punch, you're beating these other businesses in your area to the punch with these strategic solutions. And again, you can find out from us just by going info@sandycerami.com. You're going to have a leading edge on everybody.
Yeah, no question. Here's the thing, and I think it's to your point, is that I don't want to be the one that's 10th, 11th, 20th, 100th in line, because what that does is actually delays the response time for the provider. And so I want to be the first one in line. I want to be the one that's
You can
literally
also make
on
it
the
more
leading edge.
expensive by that time.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could very well be. Or it could go the other way. I mean, to be completely honest, could actually reduce cost. I don't know, but I'll tell you what, I'd rather be the first one there and gain the advantage of reducing my expenses or increasing revenues today, right? Because I want to build up that war chest for later on when that bubble does burst. So,
Absolutely.
any other questions, by all means, jump in right now. But you and I will be back here next week, and we're going to be sharing a couple of more ideas. In the meantime, this is Sandy Cerami. We're going to step up to stand out. Got my man Marvelous Ron Marvo to my right, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.